Tena koto, tena tatau katoa. Om Shri Sai Ram. My name is Rupini.
My name is Prashanth and we are your MCs for today. We bring to you Swami's 95th birthday program, brought together by the devotees of SSIONZ across New Zealand. Now, sit back, relax, enjoy the divine grace of Swami, and it's a beautiful way of concluding this really amazing year of 2020. Sai Ram.
The New Zealand theme this year: I love my community, I love my environment. Hopefully, the theme brought to you this year for Swami's 95th birthday celebrations. Happiness is union with God.
Listen to the angels, birds and the bees. Listen to the angels, birds and the bees.
Te aroha, te whakapono, me te rangi mari e tātou tātou e. Te aroha, te whakapono, me te rangi mari e tātou tātou e.
O Lord, take my love and let it flow in fullness of devotion to Thee.
O Lord, take my hands and let them work incessantly for Thee.
O Lord, take my soul and let it be merged in one with Thee.
O Lord, take my mind and thoughts and let them be in tune with Thee.
O Lord, take my everything and let me be an instrument to work for Thee.
I would like to invite the President of the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization of New Zealand, Brother Murali, to officially open Swami's 95th birthday program.
Sai Ram, brothers and sisters. On behalf of the SSIONZ International Organization of New Zealand, I welcome you all to the 95th online birthday celebrations of our dear Bhagwan Baba. The program is an attempt by the organization to give all the viewers an experience of the Sai organization of New Zealand and the relevance of the activities in the spiritual journey of each member. The activities in this program are your own experiences, your own efforts and your own satisfaction of what the organization is offering to you. However, the paucity of time does not permit us to give you the wide range of programs we do, but it does offer a glimpse of what we do. The 95th year of the advent of beloved Bhagwan is celebrated all over the world, though we may be one of the few countries that is lucky to celebrate it at our centers involving all our members. Swami has designed this perhaps to be like this. He wants us all members to come together at centers and show the unity and love that makes this organization and his teachings relevant to the spiritual journey that we are in. Let us take this opportunity, make this as our humble offering to him on his birthday. This program has contributions from many of our members, including the children and the youth. This also is a reflection of how Swami designed our spiritual transition through this world, learning from each other in our refinement. The efforts of all the SSC teachers, parents, youth, and members have gone in making this online program. Yes, definitely the video and audio recording teams have had a major role as we are dealing with more online platforms. We have come up with this program in a relatively short time, and we were also mindful about the duration of the program. So we had to choose amongst many items that we had on offer. Our attempt has been the best as we could, as a team could select. Please do send us comments that could make it better and richer in case we have to do some more online programs in the future. I will leave it to the MCs to give you all the detail of the program as it follows. I would take this opportunity again to thank each and everyone in this organization for the contributions that you have put through, not only in this year, but over several years. The strength of our organization is definitely the tireless service you all have put in through the years. And I am happy that we have come a long way as an organization. The mission of our Bhagwan should be translated into our lives as our living breath and raise us to discovering our divine self. Let us all work together for each other in this quest of ours. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Sai Ram.
Introducing to you Dr. Narendra Reddy, Chairman of Prashanti Council, who will be sharing with us his pearls of wisdom.
With love, reverence, and gratitude, I offer my prayerful pranams at the divine lotus feet of our dearest, loving, and omnipresent Lord, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. This is an auspicious and joyous occasion for the celebration of the birthday of our Lord and God, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. This is the time to express our love and gratitude to Bhagavan for the infinite love, grace, and blessings He has showered on all of us. How blessed and fortunate we are to be the contemporaries of this Kali Yuga Paripurna Avatar Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. The Lord who has no beginning, no end, the Lord who has no birth, and who is beyond the time, space, and causation, in His infinite love and compassion has descended on this earth in this human form for our redemption. He has come, the one who has Nirguna, Nirakara, one without the attributes and form, for our sake, with a sweet divine name, with a beautiful, unparalleled, beautiful form, and with His mind-boggling divine sports, the leelas, the sports, and the mission, and also the Bodhamrutam, the nectarine teachings. So I would like to touch, these are the 5 blessings. Number 1 is sweet divine name. Second is unparalleled beautiful form, divine form. And third is divine leelas, mahimas and leelas, sports. And fourth, the divine mission where we can participate. And finally, the most important is the eternal and universal message. I briefly would like to dwell on each of them. Each one by itself can lead us to the ultimate goal. First is divine sweet name, Om Shri Sai Ram. So Swami himself has said in his message to the students and teachers one time, the one who has the name of Sai and the tips of his lips will be liberated. He will be Jivan Mukta, not liberated after leaving the body. He will be liberated while alive. What a powerful name it is. Let me dwell on that a little bit. Om. Om itself is a pranava mantra. It represents the aspect of Nirguna Nirakara Brahman. So Om represents Brahman, and the practice of it itself will take to the liberation. This is called Pranava Upasana. That is why even Lord Krishna says in the Gita, Om Ityekaksharam Brahma. Om itself represents Brahman. Next is Sri. Sri represents auspiciousness. It represents prosperity, and it represents the aspect of Mother Lakshmi. So the auspiciousness. Then comes to Sai. Sai we call mother, but Swami himself explained Sai, Sa represents aspect of Shiva, Ai represents the aspect of Shakti, Mother Parvati. So Sai combines Shiva Shakti, and Swami has shown many times how he is the embodiment of Shiva Shakti in his Guru Purnima discourse. One time how he showed that he is Shiva Shakti, and also he also showed when he declared that he is Jodi Adipalli Somappa. That means he is the Lord Shiva and Shakti combined in the primeval village in Kailasa. So he has shown many times. So he is Sai. And next is Ram, Sai Rama. Rama is the very powerful mantra. It is equivalent in Vishnu Sahasranama said, chanting 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu is equivalent to chanting the name Rama. But the power of Rama is another aspect. So they say Rama, Ramyetiti Ramaha, the one who makes us very happy, joyful, that is Rama. And also it combines the two most powerful mantras. One is Om Namo Narayanaya, that is the Vaishnavite mantra called Ashtakshari mantra. And the second one is the Panchakshari mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. So from the Om Namo Narayana, the Ra combines with Ma of Om Namah Shivaya. That becomes Rama. So it is the combination of two powerful mantras, Om Namo Narayanaya, Ashtakshari mantra, and Om Namah Shivaya, Panchakshari mantra. That is the power. You see, this name Om Sri Sai Ram, it covers all aspects of divinity, starting from Parabrahman, which is beyond attributes and name and form, Om, then Sri, the mother aspect, and then Sai, which is Shiva Shakti, and also Rama, which combines the aspect of Shiva and Vishnu. So that is the power. Just the name itself will redeem us. So that power of this repetition of the name Om Sri Sai Ram. Second is his beautiful form. That is why we call him Anupama Sundara, unparalleled beauty. He is not only Sanatana, as you know, he is eternal charioteer, but he is Nitya Nutana. Every time you see, he has the beautiful, charming, divine beauty which we cannot but experience and only enjoy it. So his smile is beautiful, and his words are beautiful. Everything about him, sweetness itself. His walk is sweet, his gestures are sweet, his talk is sweet, his song is sweet. Everything about him is sweetness. That is why it is called Madhuradipate Akhilam Madhuram. He is embodiment of sweetness itself. That is why we need to enjoy that sweetness. And even his beautiful hair, that's why he has the crown of hair. He is the greatest king with the emperor with a beautiful crown. And he's also the Abhayahasta. So every aspect, every part of his, you can give you joy. Starting from the hair, his smile, his looks, his blessings, his gait, his talk, everything about him. Just contemplating of this itself will take us to Ananda, the bliss. Next aspect is Leelas, is divine sports. That is why Swami said, when he declared his avatarhood, he said the first 16 years of his life will be all Leelas. Next 16 years, he'll all Mahimas. And from the age of 32 onward, it will be Upadesha, the divine message. But he said throughout his life, these Leelas and Mahimas will also continue. But the main first 32 years is these Leelas and Mahimas. These divine sports, like we have seen the divine sports of Lord Krishna, how just listening to those Leelas itself, this great king Parikshit, just he listened to 1 week and he was liberated. So for us, we have this Sai Bhagavatam, first started with our late Professor N. Kasturi, who has written the Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Subsequently, many books have come where the devotees have explained their divine romance with Swami. There are many Leelas. Actually, if you read the early days of Swami, these Leelas are mind-boggling, astounding, awe-inspiring. We cannot but go into rapture just listening to those Leelas, how Swami would make almost like earth into sky, the unparalleled miracles you have never seen. That is why it is said, it is just you see what you hear when you hear from the devotees and from the books is only a millionth fraction of the real glory of Swami. That is the beauty of the Leelas, by contemplation of which our life will be redeemed. And the fourth aspect of the thing is divine mission. You know, Swami, when he declared, he said, why did he come? He wrote in his historic landmark letter, I came to give Ananda to the whole mankind. And he said, I take a vow so that I want to get rid of the suffering of the destitute, poor people. That is why he has come. And you have seen how he has established the educational institutions which give the education from the kindergarten level to the doctorate studies completely free, where the emphasis is not only in academic excellence, but giving the education with character, which is the important. And also, Swami established many medical institutions where primary to the tertiary medical care, including cardiac surgery, neurosurgery, orthopedic surgery, they're all given completely free of cost with love and compassion. That is why these are called temples of healing, where the healthcare is given with a lot of compassion along with the divine grace. And also Swami has, in his infinite love, has provided the water to millions of people who are needy, the elixir of life. But the most important is, during the lifetime of the avatar, which never happened before, he has let us have an organization which bears his sacred name. Sri Satya Sai organizations, both in India and all over the world, where the purpose is not only a spiritual organization, but where the humanitarian service is also emphasized. And it is our great good fortune to be part of this divine mission, which Swami has given us the opportunity to participate. He has assured us in 1961 Dasra time, in one of his discourses, where the Sevadal unit were newly being formed, he says, those who participate in this divine mission, who serve selflessly and with love, they will be liberated from the cycle of birth and death. Not only them, their children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. What an assurance. He says, he has prepared us over many lifetimes to be the instruments of his love and do participate in this divine mission. So these are the wonderful opportunity. Finally, the most important thing is Bodhamrutam, nectar of his divine teachings, which has come in the form of Satya Sai Speaks, thousands of discourses we have, both in audio, video, and printed format. Also in his infinite love, the first time in the history of humankind, an avatar has taken time to write for us the divine message, how to lead a life and attain the goal of life, namely liberation itself. That is I'm referring to the Vahini series. You know, we have the 16 Vahinis. And Swami started with Prema Vahini and ended with Leela Kaivalya Vahini. Leela Kaivalya means where you enjoy the divine Leela, sports, and Kaivalya, that means you will get liberation itself. So the underlying thing is Swami started with love. So this is what the beautiful Vahini series Swami wrote himself month after month for almost 26 years, starting in 1958. As he declared, from 32 years onwards, we see market. He was born 1926 and 1958 he started writing these divine messages. And he continued till he left his mortal coil. But let me always remember, he never left us because he has no beginning, he has no end. He is our eternal companion. He was with us, he is with us, he will be with us. At this time, it is very important for us to remember his important declaration he made on May 17th, 1968. I just want to touch the most important highlights, which are like mantra, which for me. Number one, Swami said, this is a human form in which all the names and forms attributed by man to God are manifest. Never let any doubt distract you. This is Sarvadevata Swarupa, is the embodiment of all divine names and forms. So how blessed, how fortunate we are. Swami himself said in one of these discourses, you people do not understand how fortunate and blessed you are to be contemporaries of this avatar, having received his love. He, in his own words, he told us. And then he reminded us that is why we need to live in love. Second important point he made is, no one can understand his reality today or even after thousands of years of ardent inquiry and even tapas, even if the whole humanity combines in that effort. But he says, don't try to understand me, try to experience me and enjoy my love and share that love with all. That is the most important, profound statement we need to remember. Never try to analyze and understand the divinity who is beyond the human mind, comprehension, and intellect. And third important declaration Swami made in this discourse is, if you want to merge with me, if you want to be dear to me, the only thing you should do is implicitly, completely, immediately follow my divine command. That will give you more benefit than all the tapas, all the austerities, spiritual practices you do. So that is what we have to practice. Here, I want to just touch one of these teachings which Swami emphasized over time. This is one of the slokas Swami gave explanation from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, which is the chapter on Bhakti Yoga. And this is the sloka 16. It goes like this. Anapeksha suchir dacho udasino gatavyadha sarvarambha parityagi yomad bhaktas same priya. So he says that devotee is very dear to me, who he should satisfy the following credentials or qualifications. Swami gave discourses on this particular verse, a particular theme in his few of his discourses. You can refer to that, but just I will touch mainly the highlights. Anapeksha means having no desires. But Swami says that is not practical. Most of us have desires. The reason we are born is because of desires. Man minus desires is equal to God. So the thing is, Swami in his love, he said, just have ceiling and desire. If you have 1,000, make it 500. If you have 500, make 100. If you have 100, make 10. So try to have a ceiling and desires in all aspects, whether it's consumption of the food, using the money, using the energy, most importantly, time. We should have this very important, how we should have a ceiling. But Swami said, the only desire, which is a good desire to have, which is not a desire at all, is to have desire for God and do service to the humanity, service to the mankind. Not only service to, let me tell you, not only humankind, even the animals, plants, because whole creation is nothing but divine. So Swami wants us to expand and share that love with all beings. That is what it is, then it is not a desire. Then it is the one which will take us to God. Then second aspect Swami emphasized is Suchi, purity, external cleanliness, which we all know keep our surroundings clean, our attire, our body clean. But more importantly is Antar Suchi, inner cleanliness, purity. That is why the theme is purity is divinity. Get rid of all our negative inner things by constant practice. And for that, one of the best solutions Swami has shown is doing selfless service. Chittasya shuddhaye karmana. To get the purity of heart, one of the best thing is to have doing involved in selfless service. Then third aspect is daksha. So first he said anapeksha suchir daksha. Daksha means the one who has firm determination, who is expert, who has perfection in action. Yoga, karma, so kaushalam. Whatever we do, Swami himself was an example. Everything he does is attention to detail and perfection. I have many instances. One of the personal thing is Swami was kind enough to do the wedding of my first daughter in Vrindavan. Amazing to see when the time how to print the wedding card, who should be in the red letter, who should be in the blue, like only bride, bridegroom, and Swami should be in red, others blue. And he arranging the floral arrangements, how much time he took. And getting the menu with the various wonderful items, including 2 sweets, he was particular. Then he was also arranged Narayan Seva, how a part of the wedding should be helping the poor people. And he himself participated in that. And then he assured when there were little kids that he will arrange a military band. We forgot, but he never forgot. He arranged a military band. Amazing the details I really learned from Swami. Anything, any event you do, how the attention to detail is very important. That is why we all need to have that. When we do any Sai event, every little detail we should have. Even Swami, when he gives a talk, he makes sure the mic is at the right distance. There is water next to the thing, even people who are speaking. So that is the master. He is a perfection in action. So another quality is daksha. Then next one is udasina. That means being detached, not to be affected by ups and downs of life. And Swami himself was an example how much he went through when he was through the exorcist, bodily torture, and even later in his life when his mother Ishwarama passed away, saying his name on her lips. So Swami was conducting the summer showers. So Swami quietly sent her to be her final rites to be taken care of Puttaparthi, himself continuing the work, showing how, even though he loved her the most, but that sense of detachment. We all have to play this role, udasina, not be affected by the ups and downs. We will all have ups and downs, udasino. And next important quality is gatavyadaha. There is no grief. Swami says always be smiling, always be happy. When we have the greatest treasure in our lives, Swami himself, what is there to worry about? He said, why fear when I am here? I am with you, above you, below you, behind you, around you. So what is there to worry about? So we have him. So we should have that. No more fear, no more anxiety, no more grief, no more depression. Gatavyadaha. Then next one is sarvarambha parityagi. That is very important. He says tyagi. That means you give up what? Doership. Whatever we do, the most important, even though we do service, when we think I am doing and I want the results, we are bound by it. It will give us bondage. So we should always think, Lord, you are the doer. So he is the doer and he is the receiver of service. So a stage should come. God is doing the service to God, and the process of service is also divine. So all the three combined. That is real selfless service. That is why we call it Narayana Seva. We are serving God, not somebody else. This helps us also to realize our divinity. As I said, it will purify our heart. And then next one is Sarvarambha Parityagi Yomad Bhakta. Highest, most important, we should have divine love. Love for God, love for love's sake. Live in love, nothing but love. That is, Swami says, that is the greatest Purushartha, Parabhakti. So then when you think about him, you should shed tears. Your hair should stand up. So that is the ultimate. When you have that divine love, which is pure, eternal, unconditional, you will be living in bliss. That is why Nandati Nandat Nandatyeva, they say you will be dancing with joy both inside and outside because you are living in that love and bliss. So this is how we should lead our life following Swami's teachings. I pray to Swami to bless us with dedication, devotion, and determination so that we follow his teachings and realize the goal of this life in this very lifetime. Jai Sai Ram.
And now we have for you the children of the SSE Orchestra with the humble offering at Swami's feet of the musical item.
Vakradunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Guru Medeva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvaga Saishwaraya Vidmave Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Sarva Prachodayat तिनका हमने सवारा अपनी वो माटी उड़ कर भारा लुट रहा ये चमन अपना वतन आंखों से अपनी लुट रहा ये चमन अपना वतन आंखों से अपनी संकल्प बोल के हम तो निकल पड़े हर द्वार खोल के गगन कहे विजय बाबा
There was indeed a beautiful rendition of a song composed by Swami's former students, done by our own children of the SSC Orchestra.
Swami says, the world will change through human values. You will experience this through the brothers and sisters across our nation. We hope you enjoy this humble offering made to you.
Today we're with Debbie Munro from the Walker of Caring. Debbie, we've been fortunate enough to know Debbie for the last few years and be involved in her organization and some of the community service activities that Debbie has been running, including food stalls at her fun day, at the annual fun day that she holds in South Auckland, as well as being involved in the soup drive that Debbie has in South Auckland and Auckland City. So Debbie,
Kia ora.
I need to ask you a few questions. Just can you brief us on your organization, how long you've been going, some of the highlights and major achievements of Walker of Caring?
Kia ora. Thank you for taking an interest in what we do. And first, I think I need to thank SSIONZ for supporting us all these years. I think it's been about 5 years that you guys have come and helped us with our Family Fun Day and everything else we do. Walker of Caring started about 7 years ago. I started feeding people on the street in Manurewa and Manukau, and then we realised that there was a huge big need for our homeless to be given clothes and kai and that. So we started doing things at home. From home we were running food banks and everything that you see here today we used to run from home. About a year ago we had somebody approach us who offered us $50,000. And because our kaupapa is we don't take money, I cheekily turned around and said, we'll go and find us a building, and they found us a building. So for the past year we've run this building. We run from 8:30 in the morning till probably about 10, 11 o'clock at night. We provide free clothes, free kitchenware, free books, free linen, 3 meals a day, food parcels, and generally help anyone and everyone who needs a helping hand. We're kind of now work with domestic violence. We're advocates for income support. It's gone from just helping a small group of people to now we help a wider group. From as far as Tuakopuki, we've had people from Whangarei, and we've had people from teams come and need a helping hand. I just want to thank the SSIO organisation for being part of my group for over 5 years. Thank you for your support. Just thank you, and just come and meet us and see what we do, and you'll fall in love with this place because it does help so many other people. And yep, thank you.
Kia ora. Today we have with us Michelle View from the Kaipatiki Community Facilities Trust at North Shore in Auckland. We have been doing some service activities with Michelle and the Trust, and we are here today to find out more about the Trust. So I'd love to know, ask Michelle to tell us more about the Trust and what you do in the community.
So, kia ora. I'm Michelle. I work for the Kaipatiki Community Facilities Trust. The Trust has been around for 30 years. We are a community development trust mainly, and we do all sorts of different things, from events right through to network meetings, connecting with our local community. So we first did an event with North Shore about 20 years ago, doing a hospital medical camp here in Northcote, which was, I believe, highly successful. It was before my time. 2016 we started working together again on an event called Access All, and that event was around families with children with a disability. So it was about the whole family, not just the child with the disability, but the whole family. It was about the children coming to a safe space, their parents coming to a safe space where they could have fun at no cost. Pleasure working with North Shore Side. Like I said, the first event that we did was accessible. 400 people tuned up on the day, amazing. And since then we've done another 3. We were unfortunately cancelled this year. Absolutely amazing to work with North Shore Side. Looking forward to partnering with you guys again on different things and different events that will come up, I'm sure, next year. Congratulations. I think it's been great. Look forward to working with you again.
Kia ora. Today we have Siobhan O'Grady. She is the Corporate Partnership Manager for Conservation Volunteers New Zealand. And we are here to find out more about your organisation, Siobhan. Please tell us more about what Conservation Volunteers New Zealand does.
Sure thing. So Conservation Volunteers New Zealand is an environmental charity. We've been operating in New Zealand since 2006 and we have offices in Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch, Dunedin and Punakaiki. And so our mission is to connect people to nature to inspire change. So we manage teams of volunteers to do practical hands-on environmental work. So for example, we plant approximately 150,000 trees a year. We do lots of litter cleanups, seed collection, invasive weed removal, predator control, kind of anything that we can do to make a difference to our environment and also to connect people to nature that's around them and educate them on what they can do to make a difference.
It's great to know, Siobhan. We are in the SSIONZ International Organization in New Zealand, and I think we did a partnership with you recently doing some tree planting. Could you tell us more about that tree planting event you did?
Yes, so we were really pleased to have quite a few members of SSIONZ International Organisation New Zealand attend some of our tree planting events this year. So the project that your organisation got involved in was a restoration of Sanders Reserve, which is north shore of Auckland. It's in Paramaribo. It's a really great project. So over the last few years, Sustainable Paramaribo, a community organisation, has been restoring the land around this park, and they've been doing that by planting many thousands of native trees to protect the waterways and to provide habitat for native species. They've also been getting rid of invasive weeds to protect biodiversity of the area, and they've been doing quite a bit of predator control as well. So they've been making a really big difference. This year, Conservation Volunteers came on board to help them out, so they are just a community organisation. So we've been helping them to engage volunteers and to run planting events to increase the number of trees that they're able to get into the ground and also to maintain those trees afterwards. So your team came along and helped us to plant 4,500 native trees at Sanders Reserve this year, and that was a really great achievement considering it was a COVID year. So we really couldn't have done it without them, and they were an absolutely amazing organisation to work alongside of.
Om Sairam, Akka.
Om Sairam, Sid.
So how do we celebrate Swami's birthday?
So the way that we should celebrate Swami's birthday is by doing service activities. Now, Swami's birthday is every day, so we should do service activities every day.
What service activities?
Come, I'll show you.
Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. Love is my form. Truth is my breath, bliss is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. My life is my message, expansion is my life. My life is my message, expansion is my life. My life is my message, expansion is my life. No season for love, no reason for love, no birth, ನೋಡೆ ಪ್ರೇಮ ಸತ್ಯ ಆನಂದ ಶಾಂತಿ ಸತ್ಯ ಆನಂದ ಪ್ರೇಮ ಸತ್ಯ ಆನಂದ ಶಾಂತಿ ಧರ್ಮ ಆನಂದ ಶಿರಡಿ ಸಾಯಿ ಪತ್ತಿ ಬಾಬಾ ಜೈ ಜೈ ಶಿರಡಿ ಸಾಯಿ ಪತ್ತಿ ಸಾಯಿ ಪ್ರೇಮ ಸಾಯಿ ಜೈ ಜೈ Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my home.
What do you think of this subscription? I think it's great being able to provide a facility for lonely people. I've been through a lot in life myself, through broken relationships, and it's just great being able to come out and as a community, being able to serve each other. I think it's a wonderful work what you're doing here. Just providing this place to be able to come together and put on a really good meal for us all, especially during the winter months when it's cold and people who live by themselves like myself. It's just great camaraderie, and I think it's great with what you people do in the community. Besides this, with helping out the community with tree planting around Forest Lake and on the reserves and so on, looking after the environment. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, it's all about looking after God's creation, isn't it? Yeah, thank you for that. That's great.
Swami has repeatedly told us, first be, then do, then tell. We, as Sai instruments, have gone through various spiritual disciplines, always immersed in self-inquiry in order to overcome our weakness and negative tendencies, being the expansion of the heart and the experience of divine love that arose the spiritual practices led us to serve our fellow human beings through selfless service projects, do. The time has come for us to tell the world how deep, fruitful, and needed Sai's teachings are in our everyday lives. It's time to share this amazing and unique wisdom and spiritual truth. Tell.
for Salvation Army contribution from our side and as part of the service or seva.
In our organization, we have three wings: the education, the service, and the devotional. And now I would like to present to you the young adults who will enlighten you with a very divine performance. With two songs, the songs are called Tu Kuja Man Kuja, a Kiwali, and He Honore, a Maori song. He Honore, the Maori song. This song is derived from the angel's words to the shepherds when Christ was born. Glory to the God in the highest, and on earth peace and goodwill toward men. Honor, glory, and peace to the land. He honore, he koreria. This song gives an affirmation of good tidings upon the discovery of great divinity. Hence, on the occasion of our Divine Master's birth anniversary, the young adults have shared this song. Tu Kuja Man Kuja is a Kuwali song describing the comparative between man and God. The motive of the song is to make us realize the importance in turning towards the path of divinity via the comparisons being made in between man and God. In today's world, what better moment to realize the path of divinity and surrendering to Swami? Tu Kuja Man Kuja.
Ya Nabi, Ya Nabi, Salu alayhi wa alayhi. Ha! कुजा मन कुजा तू 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 कुजा मन कुजा अता ही अता तू कुजा मन कुजा तू कुजा मन कुजा तू कुजा मन कुजा इल्हाम है जामा तेरा इल्हाम है जामा तेरा कुरआई मामा है तेरा कुरआई मामा है तेरा मिंबर तेरा हर शहबरी मिंबर तेरा हर शहबरी या रहमतुल आलमी तू कुजा मन कुजा तू कुजा मन कुजा तू कुजा मन कुजा कुजा मन कुजा तू हकीकत है मैं सिर्फ एहसास हूँ तू हकीकत है मैं सिर्फ एहसास हूँ तू समंदर में भटकी हुई प्यास हूँ तू समंदर में भटकी हुई प्यास हूँ मेरा घर खाक पर और तेरी राह गुजर मेरा घर खाक पर और तेरी राह गुजर सिदरतुल मुंतहा तू कुजा मन कुजा तू कुजा मन कुजा तू कुजा मन कुजा कुजा मन कुजा सा सारे सानी पानी सगा मागा मारे सारे नी सा सारे सानी पानी सगा मागा मारे सारे नी सा सा रे सानी पानी सगा मागा मारे सारे नी सा सा रे सानी पानी सगा मागा मारे सारे नी सा है फरिश्तो वो सुल्तान मेराज है फरिश्तो वो सुल्तान मेराज है तुम जो देखोगे हैरान हो जाओगे जो देखोगे हैरान हो जाओगे सुल्फ तफसीर वल्लैल बन जाएगी सुल्फ तफसीर वल्लैल बन जाएगी चेहरा कुरान सारा नजर आएगा तेरा नजर आएगा तेरा नजर आएगा तेरा नजर आएगा मेरे आका इमाम सफे अंबिया मेरे आका इमाम सफे अंबिया नाम पे उनके लाजिम है सल्ले अला सल्ले अला लाजिम है सल्ले अला लाजिम है सल्ले अला लाजिम है सल्ले अला तू कुजा मन कुजा मुस्तफा मुश्तबा खातिमुल मुरसली या रहमतुल आलमीन तू कुजा मन कुजा तू कुजा मन कुजा तू कुजा मन कुजा तू कुजा मन कुजा तू है एहराम अनवार बांधे हुए तू है एहराम अनवार बांधे हुए मैं दरूदों की दस्तार बांधे हुए मैं दरूदों की दस्तार बांधे हुए काबा इश्क तू मैं तेरे चारज़ू काबा इश्क तू मैं तेरे चारज़ू तू असर में दुआ तू कुजा मन कुजा तू कुजा मन कुजा तू कुजा मन कुजा तू कुजा कुजा मन कुजा तू कुजा मन कुजा.
Swami gives lots of importance to Sai Spiritual Education, SSE, as this program is centered on devotion to God and manifestation of the innate divinity through the 5 core human values: truth, right action, love, peace, and non-violence. Let's now listen to our SSE children's presentations.
Sairam. I'm Ayushi and I attend Hamilton Science Centre SSE class. This year, some of the highlights for me have been gaining knowledge about nature and caring for the environment, listening and enjoying to stories on different themes and the activities based on these themes, learning to sing bhajans and songs, which I take great pleasure in performing during centre bhajans.
Om Sairam. My name is Shashani and I attend Hamilton SSE Group 3 class. Some of these activities we focused on this year were the Minogue Park cleanup and planting trees with the Hamilton City Council. We came back to class, discussed nature, our environment and produced posters to show our learning. The songs that we have chosen to sing today sums up our theme of nature is our best teacher.
Take a lesson from the sun that shines its light on everyone, or the rain that falls on every single shore. No distinction of our race or the color of our face. Nature's gifts are there for all, when rich or poor. Love all, serve all. Understand that love and peace is
Baba's 95 years, he has done many great things and changed the views of numerous people around the world. We were wondering how this has happened in our country of Aotearoa, so we decided to create this montage of the people around us.
How and when were you introduced to Swami?
So when we came to New Zealand, we migrated in 1995, and that was a time he came to our life in such a way that he was calling us, and then we, in different ways, we felt that, and then from New Plymouth to Auckland, we drove all the way here, and then we found a center here in Mount Eden. That was the first time we saw him, and physically, we felt him physically, that he is with us, within us.
Well, when I was born, my mum was already a part of the organization, and as I grew up, my mum put me into SSE, and that's how I started following.
I was introduced to Swami when I was 5 years old, where my dad went to India, and he went to Prashanti Nilayam and learnt about Swami, and so he put me into SSE in New Zealand.
What got you into following the teachings of Swami?
So when I went to Balavikas, I learned more about Swami's teachings, and when I got a chance to study in Swami's college in Anantapur, it really inspired me. So I could hear Swami's discourses, and that's when I started practicing Swami's teaching more seriously.
Because I look up to him as a guru.
I follow them because my mum does, and I believe in them as well.
His teachings are great because what he says, he speaks during his discourse and all that makes a lot of sense.
Has he made an impact on any aspect of your life? How is that?
He's basically influenced my childhood. So as I was saying, I started SSE classes from a very young age, and ever since then I feel like it's made me like a more woke, a wiser child, and it just made me a peaceful, natured kid, and it's influenced me till this day. So yeah.
He's had an impact on what I believe in and my values.
He has an impact on my life because whenever I do something, I make sure it's always the right thing to do.
Because I go to regular Thursday bhajans, and I go to the Friday bhajan practices. So, and also, the things they teach me here, I try to put them in my life. So,
what inspires you about Swami?
He himself is an inspiration. His life has been an inspiration. His teachings are an inspiration. And I think just the simple things that he expects from us, his simple way of living, and really what he's asking for isn't a lot. It's just the way every human being should live. It's not based on any culture, any religion, or any ritual as such. It's just a way of living. And that's the way of living that I think every human being should follow.
How he lived such an amazing life. He got to meet all these animals, and he just changed the world in a good way.
Why do you believe Swami is God?
He's had a profound effect on me. And I think that's something that God does too. Showing us the direction, how to lead our life. Being the light in our life.
I don't believe he's God, but I believe that he's someone that I look up to, and he's my God.
He has produced miracles through everything. He's followed his mother's teachings as well, and he's led everyone in a way that a God should.
I offer my most humble pranams at the lotus feet of beloved Swami. Today is a very special day. Our beloved Swami was born 95 years ago, and his teachings are still being taught and practiced all around the world. As a devotee from birth, my connection with Swami has always been very strong. I am a 15-year-old girl from Christchurch, and I attend the online SSE class with my amazing teacher, Daksha Auntie. SSE Online has changed my life. Meeting new people with the religion of love has been quite an experience. I now look at the world differently. And here's what I see through my eyes. The 5 values, truth, right conduct, peace, love, and non-violence are the basis of our learning through online SSE. Every Sunday we get taught a different aspect of life and how we should be more helpful and kind to the people around us. Our Sai community here in Christchurch is small, but as our loving Swami has said, hands that serve are holier than lips that pray. Here in Christchurch we do various service activities. These include donating blood and giving lunch to the local disability school. In our online SSE class, not only do we learn about humanity, but we learn about our culture, various celebrations, and of course about Sai himself. Things like gratitude, empathy, sealing of desires, and the environment are topics that we also learn about. I personally have expanded my knowledge in so many areas about the religion of love. SSE has been nearly a year-long journey for me, but my journey with Sai will last for a lifetime. I really do love having SSE classes and learning a new lesson in values every time and having discussions about the topic. I do apply these values in my life, such as gratitude and love. SSE has had a great influence on my life, and overall I've had a great experience learning it so far. With all my learning and experience from SSE, I feel that we can all make a difference in our world for it to be greener, happier and peaceful. So why don't you join me on this journey? Om Sai Ram, and may God bless you all.
Om Shri Sai Ram. We are the South East Auckland SSE group. Today we will be doing a sharing on happiness and Swami's thoughts on happiness.
Happiness is union with God. Happiness lies within you. If you believe God is in you, with you, and around you, you will always be happy.
Anger, ego, jealousy are the biggest diseases. Keep yourself aloof from these 3 diseases. Swami says, always be happy.
Prayer. Baba says prayer alone makes life happy, harmonious, and worth living in this universe.
Purity, patience, perseverance. Swami says the 3 P's are in me and around me. If you observe them, you will be one with me. With the 3 P's, you will acquire good health, happiness, and bliss. You can achieve anything with purity of heart and peace of mind.
I am I. Swami says, I am you. You are me. You are the waves. I am the ocean. Know this. Be free, be divine, be happy. In Kali Yoga, only remembering the names of the Lord is needed to acquire liberation.
Ego. Cut the I and let your ego die. Be happy. When you are happy, only then you can make others happy.
Selfless service. Engage yourselves in service activities. Consider social service as service to God. This is the best way to earn God's love. Love all, serve all. Service helps remove ego. It promotes love and affection and creates widespread happiness.
There is no power higher than selflessness. Love is that selflessness.
Swami says, be happy. If all are happy, God will be happy. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu.
Sukhino bhavantu. May all beings in all worlds be happy. Sai Baba said, nature is a gift of God to humanity. So let us see what we have learned from nature. Spiders are part of nature. They teach us to be creative. Butterflies are colorful and peaceful to look at. Let us be happy and peaceful like a butterfly. I like rainbow because it has many colors, and I like a rainbow because it brings a smile to my face. Bees work hard to make honey and not be lazy. Flowers are part of nature. They give without asking. They teach us to share and not be greedy.
Sarah, my name is Sai. My topic is glaciers. We must learn to live in love, peace, and harmony with nature, so that nature can help us and sustain us. Like glaciers, which have their own ecosystem and provide drinking water and irrigate crops. Glaciers are indicators of global warming and climate change. They teach us to show love, respect, and care for our planet Earth.
Sorry everyone, my name is Carmen. One thing I have learned from nature is that it shows unconditional love, and it does its duty accordingly. Example, by giving us air and helping us breathe. Everything in nature that goes in coordination. Humans have to learn to do their duty as well as nature does, and help nature by planting trees and so on. Sorry everyone.
Sarah, my name is Ashia. For me, rivers are the best teachers and the best examples of the 4 F's that Swami teaches us. The first one is to follow the master by keeping it flowing. The second one is to face the devil, to push through all the obstacles. The third one is to fight till the end, to keep until you finish the game. The fourth one is to finish the game until the river merges into the ocean. Sarah.
Sunrise nature. Nature is a precious gift to humanity with a compassionate mother. Nature teaches us love, sacrifice, and forbearance, among many other values. Nature is the reflection of the divine. Nature is love. We should encompass everyone like nature. Sarah.
Sarah, my name is Nikita. My topic is about birds. We must learn to speak sweetly and lovingly like the birds. We can become colorful and beautiful like the birds when we love all and serve them. We must learn to be happy and carefree like the birds that fly if we want to enjoy peace. Sarah.
Sarah, my name is Hashra and my topic is the sun. The sun inspires us to live a life of selfless service by sharing its light with all living beings without expecting any reward. Sunrise and sunset teaches us that no matter how tough life is, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Sayonara.
Sayonara. My name is Avnika and my topic is trees. Trees teach us forgiveness. They give shade and shelter to people who cut them and give fruits to those who pelt them with stones. Trees teach us to give without any expectations. They provide food, shade, and shelter for everyone. Thank you.
Om Saram, my name is Krishna. My topic is lions. Lions teach us to be strong and courageous like them. We must live together in love, peace, and harmony, like a pride of lions. We must follow our instincts like lion, because it is God telling us what to do. Sairam.
Sairam, my name is Anushka. My topic is frogs. The life cycle of a frog teaches us patience. It takes time, from an egg to a tadpole and finally to a frog. Hibernating frogs teach us to have a good sleep so we can enjoy a good day and a positive mood.
Sairam, my name is Keisha and today my topic is stars. The stars teach us that we can be the very best that we can be to be a star. We must have a positive attitude and glow like the stars at night, even if we're surrounded by darkness and light. Shine brightly like a star. Treat all as one. Sairam.
Sarah, my name is Riyanka. My topic is mountains.
The best we only comes after the hardest climb. We can only achieve the best in life with hard work and effort. When we reach the top of the mountain and achieve our goals, we must never forget the ones that helped us get there. Sarah.
Om Sai Ram, and today I'll be talking about the moon. We must learn to be cool and calm like the moon. We must not get angry or be rude to anyone. Thank you.
It was truly inspirational to listen to the children singing their energetic songs and sharings. We would like to thank all the children and teachers for this wonderful participation. Why do we go to Prashanti, you may ask? All the way to Prashanti Nilayam? Pilgrimages are a way for spiritual seekers to recharge their batteries. Devotees have been going from New Zealand to Puttaparthi for many years. We bring to you today a composition of fond memories of some of these pilgrimages made. Introducing you to late Kura Baker. She was a much loved and respected elder, Kaumatoa.
There was myself, Marta Betty and Dolly, my sister-in-law. And then we took a Cook Islander called Tua. And as soon as Baba saw us, he came down from the Mandia and right over to us and said, New Zealand, come now.
Our late Mata Betty, beloved New Zealand Sai devotee. Before even going to India for the first time, Mata Betty and her late husband were graced with the vision of Swami at their residence. Swami came, spoke to them, answering all their questions. And since then, she's been to India many times and has scored numerous interviews with Bhagwan himself. In one particular instance, Bhagwan called her my New Zealand minister. Having been wheelchaired for a long time, Swami himself said, walk. For the first time, she walked in his presence.
Sri Satya Sai Baba has told me to tell you he will stand by your efforts.
Lynn Kriegler, author, illustrator, storyteller, and scriptwriter, arrived in New Zealand in 1974. Apart from pilgrimages, she has assisted devotees in writing and publishing of their personal experiences and insights of Swami.
It wasn't until I met Tom in 1978 that we both began a joint journey towards Swami. By that time, Goodies Books was in operation.
This is in Auckland?
This is in Auckland, New Zealand. Goodies Spiritual Bookshop. We were able to find books about Jack Hislop. Tom shared my interest in Bhagwan. We found books by Sam Sandweiss, and a few others were available by this time. By this time, we both were longing to go to India. And I thought, how are we going to get there? And I picked up one of these books from Goodies, and a bookmark fell out. Just fell out, and it had Madeline Gilman's name on it, Secretary of the Sai Organization. I thought, I'll call up Madeline, and this crisp British voice answered the phone. I was a bit intimidated. She sounded like a very strict schoolmistress. I was a bit worried about this, because I thought, well, she's very posh. But she said, yes, we do have a group going. There are 2 seats left at Christmas time. It's such a big group. There are 3 groups going. And I said, we'll take those tickets. We got there to the ashram, and Swami came straight over to me. And of course, I had been praying, I just want you to look into my eyes. I had the front row, and what did he do? He stood in front of me and looked into my eyes.
In 1964, Mother Madeline sailed to New Zealand to start her new life. She had a great spiritual urge and studied the Western and Eastern spiritual epics. She met Richard Wallace and came to know about Satya Sai Baba.
Yes, I had Baba's birthday here,
and then went straight there to.
So how many people went from New Zealand? You went
We
in a
were
group?
a party of about 20.
20.
A living inspiration in Swami's teachings around the late 1970s, and spent her entire life since then taking his teachings to the people of New Zealand.
Mark Cornell speaks of his trip in 1981. Being one of the pioneers of SSIONZ, he continues serving with unwavering faith and devotion in his beloved Lord, Sri Sathya Sai Baba.
Back, we had our first centre meet, we formed official, filled criteria, you got to have 9 people, etc.
Right.
We had our first meeting about the end of January 1981, and we got our official affiliation with the World Council, just a few months later. There were 5 of us. We went
All from New Zealand? 5 from New Zealand?
Yes.
Yep.
It was myself, Madeline, Barbara McKelly, Sandra Smith, and John Porter.
Mr. Richard Wallace, a retired property manager of Mobil Oil, New Zealand. He also served in the Auckland School of Philosophy as a lecturer. He served the Sri Sathya Sai Organization of New Zealand for 12 years as a president. He's currently the convener for the Sathya Sai Values and Education Trust of New Zealand. He's also the founder and past chairperson of the Institute of Sathya Sai Education. He had a special passion for the spiritual education of children and found the ideal curriculum he sought for in Swami's Educare philosophy. He did his best to promote Educare through helping in the mobilization of SSE teachers and working closely with them in conducting SSE classes.
I went about 8 times, yeah.
So can you give us some experience on your visits to Sai Baba?
Yeah, well, the first one was beautiful. And the rest just sort of followed in the line of duty, really.
1994 Youth Trip to Prashanthi Nilayam. Youth leader at that time, Bernard Gulliman, asked Swami if he would bless a youth group to see him. 18 months of preparation with study circles of the 1990 summer showers in Vrindavan. The youth came together, laying down a framework that would make a trip of their lifetime. The group at the time had 2 arrival dates in India. The first group, on the 20th of November 1994, arriving to the festivities of Swami's birthday, 69th birthday celebration, and the second group arrived on the 5th of December. The group received 5 interviews and constant interaction with Swami. For some of the youth, this was their first trip, and these interactions were seen as the norm. It wasn't until later years, when they visited Prashanthi, did they realize how lucky they truly were. The Sri Sathya Sai World Youth Conference was held from the 16th to the 18th of July in 1997. Over 2,000 delegates from 66 countries and 10,000 delegates from India participated in this conference. Bhagavan lit the lamp inside Kulwant Hall to mark the inauguration of this trip.
The Christmas of 1997. 15 children between the ages of 4 and 11 years and parents, along with a few other devotees, went to Prashanthi Nilayam to stage a drama on Christmas Day in the divine presence of Bhagavan. This group was organized and coordinated by Sister Prini Vimalachandra. My work is my blessing was the message of Bhagavan during the Overseas Chairperson's Convention in Prithapati at the time of his 73rd birthday celebrations. The valedictory function of the convention of the chairperson of overseas centers was held at Sai Kulwant Hall. The function commenced with Vedic chants. Selected seniors from the International Sai Organization spoke about the impact of Bhagavan's value education. Bhagavan then delivered his valedictory address in which he answered all the questions that has been asked earlier by the members of the convention.
Trips with Mata Betty. Over the years, she had made over 50 pilgrimages. and excepting for 2 trips, all the rest were granted interviews. Her writings were based on direct experience of the truth.
In 2009, the devotees of New Zealand were gifted or blessed with an opportunity to perform in front of Swami. It was the first time the devotees of this beautiful country did a choir. Swami had agreed for their choir program and had also issued a very interesting command that all members of the choir would be seated on the stage on either side of where he would sit. There's an instant where, as Swami sat, and he saw a group of ladies of New Zealand devotees which had split down the granite blocks of the hall due to lack of space on stage. Calling a student, he told him to take him down to those unlucky ones who could not make it on the stage. He took around them and also around the entire ladies' side. Talk about the effects of good company. Sitting near the New Zealand devotees, Swami decided to bless everyone got benefited.
It was really good. He came down and asked, no pigeon singing, and I was speechless. New Zealand, and I was like, yes, sorry. That's about.
The 2011 Youth Yatra or pilgrimage was a very, very special one. A combined music program by 2 different countries, Czech Republic from the Central Europe and New Zealand, was the highlight of the 25th of January evening in Prashanti Nilayam.
– 2012 brings us a lot of fond memories. It's a profound moment of our organization in New Zealand. First time we were invited by Bhagawan to Prashanti Nilayam to decorate the entire residence and Prashanti Nilayam for Christmas. We had about 115 devotees from New Zealand, or New Zealand as Swami calls it, who journeyed to Prashanti to be part of the decorations and carol group. However, at the outset, we must acknowledge our loving support to many of our brothers and sisters, young and old, who were not able to be with us at Prati.
Tom told me to expect you coming here, and you got about 100 volunteers, I think,
yeah,
right?
we have about 115 from New Zealand.
The thrill that's glowing inside and the journey that we've had. We had a fantastic journey, self, as an individual, and as a team.
And you can just feel the love flowing through everybody.
Can you think of a better place on earth to be for Christmas Day?
Not at all.
Yeah.
This is the best.
In 2012, 120 devotees worked hard to decorate the entire ashram, presented the early morning Christmas choir.
Before the commencement of the Satya Sai World Youth Festival, this evening, 200 Sai youth or young adults from 49 different countries graduated from the Satya Sai International Youth Leadership Program. And we are proud to say a handful of New Zealand young adults and youths were part of that congregation. And a huge congratulations to all of them. Certificates were handed out inside Covent Hall to the delegates by the organizers.
Kia ora from New Zealand.
The Go Green Conference in 2018. This helped us to understand the inherent relationship between God, nature, and man.
What a privilege and pleasure it is to be here with you at this first ever Go Green Conference.
And the journey continues from 2012 Christmas decoration to our 2018 Christmas decorations. We were honored again and blessed by the opportunity to be invited back by Prashanthi Nilayam to decorate Prashanthi Nilayam and Swami's residence.
The New Zealand Choir in 2018 offered a soul-lifting Christmas morning choir. This was presented at the Sanctum Sanctorum at 6:30 in the morning.
The children of New Zealand had the blessed opportunity to perform in His divine grace.
Our next item for this evening is a drama presented by the SSE students. The devotees and children have been working on this all year for you, Swami. The drama is based on the life of Sir Edmund Hillary.
Cry, baby.
Okay, line up.
Daydreaming again. We came so close. Just 300.
Thank you.
Brothers and sisters, we would like to invite you to join us in this next few minutes of bhajans or devotional songs led by our lead singers from Auckland, Hamilton and Wellington.
Ete atua arohama, ete atua arohama, ete atua arohama, ake ake gunue.
Ram, hear my call to you. Sai Ram, hear my call. Sai Ram, hear my call to you. Sai Ram, hear my
जय 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 हे मधुसूदना जय 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 हे मधुसूदना जय वृंदावन मनमोहना
Let us listen to what our beloved Bhagavan has to say to us about community, environment, and why it's important to serve it.
కనుక మొట్టమొదట సంఘ నీతి.
Therefore, first morality in
మనం
society.
పుట్టడము, పెరగటము, జీవించటము సర్వము కూడాను సమాజంతోనే ఉంటున్నాయి.
We grow, we are born here, we develop in society.
కనుక మొట్టమొదట మన సమాజం యొక్క క్షేమాన్ని మనం కోరాలి.
Therefore, we should desire the welfare of the society.
మన క్షేమమంతా సమాజ క్షేమం పైన
Our
ఆధారపడి
welfare depends on the welfare of the society.
కనుక నేను బాగుండాలనుకుంటే సమాజం కూడా బాగుండాలి.
If you want to be good, the society should be good.
విశాల బ్రాడ్ మైండ్ చేసుకోవాలి.
You should have broad mind.
మనం నిరంతరం కూడాను సేవల కంటే మించినటువంటిది సాధన మరొకటి లేదు.
We have to recognize there is no other spiritual practice which is more than that of service.
శ్రవణం, కీర్తనం, విష్ణు స్మరణం, పాదసేవనం, వందనం, అర్చనం, స్నేహం, ఆత్మనివేదనం ఇది అని మనం భావించుకొని ఇట్టి సేవల్లో మనం మునిగిపోతున్నాము.
We spend our time thinking of the 9 paths of devotion, like singing, listening, worship, salutation, surrender, and so on.
మనం నిరంతరం కూడా పరులకు సేవ చేస్తూ రావాలి.
We have to offer incessant services to everybody.
అందు నిమిత్తమే ఈ కాయమును భగవంతుడు అనుగ్రహించాడు.
For that purpose this body is gifted.
కనుక ఈ దేహమును పరులకు సహజీవులకు సాధన చేసే నిమిత్తమై అందించినాడనే సత్యాన్ని గుర్తించాలి.
We have to recognize the basic fact that God has given us this body to serve the neighborhood, everybody in society.
కనుకనే ప్రతి మానవుడు కూడా సేవలో పాల్గొనాలి.
Hence everyone must participate in service.
సేవ కంటే మించినటువంటి ఫలితం మరొకటి లేదు.
There is no other thing that is greater than service.
భజన సాధనల కంటే కూడాను ఈ సేవలే చాలా ప్రధానమైనటువంటిది.
Of all kinds of spiritual practices, this service is noblest and the highest.
ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా,
embodiments of love.
సేవ అంటే ఏమనుకుంటున్నారు మీరు?
What is that you think about service?
ఏదో పరులకు కష్టాల సమయంలో తోడ్పడటము, వారికి సహాయం చేయటము, వారి సేవల్లో పాల్గొనటము ఇది ఏ సేవలుగా భావిస్తున్నారు?
You consider that the service meant to be of some support to the poor and the needy at the time of hour.
కాదు.
No.
మన దేహం నిరంతరం కూడాను సేవలు యందే దీన్ని అంకితం గావించాలి.
The body must be dedicated to service.
దేహంలో ఉన్నటువంటి ప్రతి అంగము కూడాను కర్మోపాసన నిమిత్తమై అందించినటువంటిది.
Every limb has to be involved, spent in the field of action.
కర్మోపాసనే మానవులకు ముఖ్యమైనటువంటి ధన్యత గావించినటువంటిది.
It is only the field of action, karmopasana, that would redeem our lives.
భగవంతునకు సేవల యందే ఆనందం కానీ, పూజల యందు కానీ, త్యాగముల యందు కానీ ఆనందం లేదు.
In fact, God is very happy watching your services and not other forms of worship.
కనుక సర్వీస్ మనం చేయండి.
So we should serve.
The best way to love God is to love all, serve all.
The best way to God is to love all and serve all.
He provided fresh drinking water to over 1,000 villages. The poorest of the poor, the forgotten millions, now know that he is there to care for them. He built temples of healing, bringing modern medicine to those who needed it most. He built schools. He built universities. he built character in generations of young men and women. Satya Sai Baba says, whenever you see a sick person, a dispirited, disconsolate, diseased person, there is your field of service. Every blood cell, every nerve must tingle with love, with eagerness to share that love with the forlorn.
Hey, kia ora everybody. I was driving through Otara Town Centre to go grab me some kai. And funny enough, I always see the food truck here. They're here down today. It's Kai Sai. Say hi to these guys. Hey guys. Hey, okay. Do you want to explain who you guys are and what's happening?
We are trying to feed the homeless.
Yeah.
And this is free food for all the homeless people. We do it around Auckland, and it's a 7-day project. So
yeah.
Basically it happens every day of the week. And we have started it in October, and it's going every day, and it's going very well. And
cool.
we try to make sure that all the homeless are fed.
Awesome. Do you have to be homeless to come?
No.
So if someone's struggling or needs a feed tonight, they can just come down?
Yes.
There you go. Okay, so free kai, guys. If you just don't want to cook tonight, or you're hungry, struggling for food tonight, come down and grab a feed. Look, they've just saved me a few dollars actually.
Nature is a precious gift to humanity. Like a compassionate mother, nature nurtures us, protects us, and sustains us. She gives us food, water, air, land, and many natural resources, which we often take for granted. Nature is also a supreme teacher. She teaches us love, patience, forbearance, and sacrifice, among many other values.
సృష్టి అనగా ఈశ్వరేచ్ఛక ప్రకటనయే.
The universe or creation is the very expression of the divine will.
దీని పేరే ప్రకృతి.
The name is Prakriti or nature.
ఈ ప్రకృతి యందు పుట్టిన ప్రతి మానవుడు ఈశ్వర స్వభావమే కలిగి ఉండాలి.
Every man who is born in this Prakriti or nature should have divine nature.
మానవుడు ఈ సృష్టిలో అంతర్భాగం.
Man is the very undercurrent in this creation.
ప్రపంచమునందు గల సమస్త పదార్థముల చేతను కట్టబడినాడు మానవుడు.
But man is bound by all the materials in the world.
తన ఉనికి కూడాను ఈ జగత్తు ఉనికిపై ఆధారపడి ఉంటున్నది.
His awareness is also dependent on the awareness of the world.
కనుక మానవుడు సృష్టి సంరక్షణ నిమిత్తమై తాను తన మనుగడను కొనసాగవలసి వస్తుంది.
In order to protect this creation, man has to dedicate his life.
Swami says nature is a gift to humanity from God. Actually, nature is a vesture of God. And Swami went on to say, nature is a manifestation of God. Ultimately, he says, nature and God are one.
కానీ దురదృష్టవశాత్తు ఆధునిక యుగమునందు వైజ్ఞానిక యొక్క ప్రవర్తన యందు మానవత్వం అనేటువంటిది నశించి ఈ జగత్తు అనేటువంటిదంతా కూడాను మానవుని ఉపభోగ నిమిత్తమై ఏర్పడినదిగా భావించి దాని శక్తులను తాను స్వీకరించి అనేక విధములుగా ఈ జగత్తునకు విప్లవాన్ని చేకూరుస్తూ వచ్చింది.
But man forgets this truth and the human qualities are declining. He thinks that the whole world is for his enjoyment, and this is leading to a lot of strife and conflict in the world.
జగత్తు ఉపభోగ నిమిత్తమై ఏర్పడినటువంటిది కాదు.
The world is not created for your enjoyment.
ఈ జగత్తు యొక్క శక్తులను కొల్లగొట్టుకొని మానవత్వాన్ని విస్మరించి కేవలము సృష్టి యొక్క పరిణామమునకు గురి చేస్తున్నాడు మానవుడు.
Man depends on the world, forgets the human qualities and doing everything for enjoyment.
ఈ యొక్క ప్రాకృతికమైనటువంటి వైపరీత్యములకు మూల కారణము మానవుని యొక్క ప్రవర్తనే.
The root cause for this perversion of human nature is man's characteristics.
ఈనాడు లోకములో జరిగేటువంటి భూకంపములు కానీ, అగ్నిపర్వతములు కానీ, లేక అతివృష్టి అనావృష్టి అనేటువంటి యొక్క బాధలు కానీ, యుద్ధములు కానీ, ఇవన్నీ కూడాను ప్రకృతి యొక్క వైపరీత్యం యొక్క ప్రసాదములే.
All the catastrophes like earthquakes, volcanoes, wars, drought, all this is the expression of the perversion of nature.
ఈ మానవత్వాన్ని ఈనాడు విస్మరిస్తున్నాం.
But man is forgetting his human nature.
ఈ మానవతా విలువలను మనము విస్మరిస్తున్నాము.
We are forgetting the human values.
We have polluted our rivers so badly that even our mother Ganga, from the origin to the end, has become so polluted. It's a shame on us that we, on the one hand, we worship the river and we say she's our mother, and on the other hand, we pollute it. We throw everything. So there is a difference in preaching and practice.
Of all the challenges we are faced with, the most serious one is without doubt climate change. But what is it exactly? What is global warming? There is no simple or short way to describe it, but in a few words, it's unpredictable weather, extreme heat, less rain, melting ice from the glaciers, leading to dramatic consequences for our food production and our water reservoirs. We are seeing heavier monsoons, more frequent tsunamis around the world. Polluted air is affecting our health. There is sea level rise and increased acidity, which is already affecting the ocean ecosystems.
మనం తినేటువంటి దానికంటే వేస్ట్ ఎక్కువ చేస్తున్నాం.
We are wasting much more than we partake.
కనుకనే సీలింగ్ ఆన్ డిజైర్స్ ఈ 4 కూడా విద్యార్థుల్లో అవసరం.
Therefore, ceiling on desires has been prescribed.
Don't waste food. Don't waste time. Don't waste money. Don't waste energy. This is way of life. ఇది కల్చర్.
This is culture.
ఈ యొక్క దీనిని మనము సరైన రీతిగా మనం పెట్టుకోవాలి.
We need to realize that everything we do has an impact on the environment, and because there are so many of us, it's a cumulative impact. Each of us therefore needs to reassess our thoughts, our desires, our habits, and the things we accept as just normal in the light of Satya Sai Baba's teachings on God, nature, and man.
There are 2 specific teachings Satya Sai Baba has given us that can help us in our daily lives. Firstly, Satya Sai Baba encourages us to practice universal human values in our relationship with nature, primarily by manifesting love for all creation and the Creator.
Baba embodied the 5 human values in his life: truth, right conduct, peace, love, and non-violence. Those same human values, he said, are inherent in each and every one of us, but mankind has neglected them. Without the basis of these human values, mankind's actions and attitudes have descended into the selfishness which is causing the environmental degradation and destruction we see in the world today. The antidote to this selfishness is love, because love is selflessness.
Love and selflessness make it easier to practice the second teaching that Satya Sai Baba has given us, placing a ceiling on our desires. This is about placing a limit on how much we consume, choosing to consume responsibly, and being careful not to waste water, energy, food, or any resource that we have been given. Putting a limit on our own desires not only leads to a healthier planet, but also a simpler, happier, and healthier life.
The external pollution we see is just a reflection of our inner pollution. We have to get out of the mindset that the problem is out there and the solution is out there in some technology, some government, and some business, and realize the problem is in here and the solution starts with us.
So let's start with a question asking ourselves, is my action or inaction in any way benefiting or harming the environment? And if I don't know the answer to that question, do research, ask around. And I think by doing that, we'll become more sensitive and we'll also gain the knowledge we need to effect behavioral change that will result in us creating an environment that is better not just for us, but for generations to come.
Now, if each one of us can deepen our love and respect for nature, live a more environmentally conscious and sustainable life, and choose to lead by example by taking action in our homes, our workplaces, and our communities, there is no doubt that our cumulative efforts can restore balance in nature and enable us to live in harmony with our planet. The Earth is our precious home. It is our Mother Earth, and it is time that we restore her to her majestic best.
We hope you enjoyed today's program. Better still, inspired by the divinity within, to walk the path of service and to care for our nature. Brothers and sisters, with Sai in our hearts, let us love our communities. Let us love our environment. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.